On today's episode, we are going to take a look at Volkswagen. Their stock is exploding because of the new update to their EV strategy. Some people are going as far as calling it game over for Tesla. And even though there are some cool things that came out in this update to their presentation, we're also going to learn a lot more about just the overall EV market in today's episode. I would not call it a game over for anything. Right now, the EV market is so small that there's so much room for multiple companies to win. If this is your first time here, make sure to hit the subscribe button. Don't forget to hit the thumbs up and follow me on Twitch where I live stream taking a look at stocks you want me to look at. So let's get started. I want to thank The Motley Fool for sponsoring this video. The Motley Fool is a company that provides investing insight and stock recommendations for investors of all skill sets and risk levels. You guys know I love finding new investing tools and resources to help me scout out new growth stocks. And right now I have a discount for one of my favorite services The Fool offers. Through the Motley Fool Stock Advisor service, you get access to a ton of expert stock picks. Every month you'll get 2 picks that are aimed at growing your wealth and to help you realize your financial goals. Stock Advisor's average stock picks have done some crazy returns. If growing your money is something you'd like to do more of this year, you can visit thefool.com/Jose Najarro or click on the link below for access to my special offer and decide if the stock advisor is right for you. Thanks again to the Motley Fool, and now back to today's episode. Alright, so first let's start off by looking at Volkswagen's price action. There's a few ways to trade Volkswagen, mainly over the counter. The first popular ticker is VWAGY, and we can see this is right now trading up about 50% higher in the past 5 trading days. So it's been a great 5 days for Volkswagen holders. So congratulations if you've been holding the stock. Year to date, the stock has done over 108%. The other way to trade Volkswagen is again also over the counter with ticker VLKAF. These are the ones I find that are most popular. And if you guys have any other tickers, feel free to let me know on the comments below. So Volkswagen right now has a market cap of about 138 billion euros, right? And we convert that to the United States dollars, that's about $165 billion. And just for comparison, right now market cap for Tesla is about $673 billion. And this is something that I find so funny, right? I feel like when Tesla was jumping at these crazy levels, all these people were saying, hey, Tesla's market cap is so huge. Compare it to some of the other automaker companies, right? Compare it to Volkswagen, compare it to Ford. It makes no sense. And now that we see Volkswagen going up at these crazy levels, I hear people saying, hey, look at that market cap of Tesla. We still got so much more way to go. So it's crazy how people just like to see what they want to see. Both, and at the same time, both of them could be right. Tesla year to date is actually down about 3.83%, unlike Volkswagen that we saw was up about 100%. And in the past 5 days, the stock has been pretty much flat. Right now, pre-market, the stock is down about 2%. But Tesla, I mean, if we take a look in the past year, has done amazing, right? It's done over 871%. So again, it all depends on where you set your eyes to. If you look at year to date, obviously Volkswagen has outperformed. But if you take a look at the past year, it's a whole different story. And if you guys, I also did a video of some other EV stocks. You guys should also see a link about this. But let's keep talking about Volkswagen right now. So what's going on right now? Why is Tesla dropping a bit here? I think Tesla is just normally volatile, but there is some new talks about competition. In the United States, for example, Ford Motor, which is ticker F, the electric sport utility vehicle, the Mustang Mach-E, has begun eating Tesla's market share. And I do feel that sometimes analysts just try to really incite fear. I don't believe it's a market share eating. I feel like that table is just getting bigger. Right? There's more food in the table. More people are going and buying electric cars. So the market itself is expanding. It's not like the market is staying the same. And right now we only have an X amount of market and whoever is going in is taking the lunch. No, I think everybody is just eating right now. We're in an all-you-can-eat buffet. Again, I'm not even a Tesla bull or bear. I have no stake in Tesla. I actually have no stake in any of these stocks. But it's crazy to read stuff like that. In Europe, though, the world's largest electric car maker is Volkswagen, and they beat Tesla to become the top-selling all-electric vehicle maker there in 2020. In other markets such as Asia, Tesla's market share has held up and has even grown. And it's pretty crazy, right? We've seen a nice amount of, especially in the Chinese market, a nice amount of EV cars coming out. But I believe they're still not producing anywhere near the amount that Tesla is in those regions. Another cool thing, right, before we take a look at Volkswagen and what they have to offer in the EV market, Volkswagen said on Monday that it would make the key EV component itself, the battery, right? Everybody knows that is the main part of the car. It's actually what really drives the car price. And this is the first car maker to take this step after Tesla. Previously, the German company was counting on its peers on East Asia's battery giant, as well as joint ventures with Swedish startup Northvolt. But fears have been steadily mounting that there won't be enough batteries to go around. And this is actually pretty cool. I mean, it seems like one of the better investments to go into and this is not advice, right? I'm not a professional, but it seems like one of the better investments to go into is not the EV cars themselves, because we don't know what EV car is going to do well. We don't know if Tesla is going to be the leader. We don't know if Volkswagen is going to be the leader. But what we do know is that batteries, there's not enough batteries right now. And all these EV makers are doing it themselves because the production is so low at the moment. So what are some of the components on these batteries? That's what I think maybe some people should also start looking at instead of choosing all these EV markets, right? All these EV car makers. We've seen some car makers, we've seen EV stocks jump up like crazy, and the car company has yet to produce any vehicles. But one thing we know for certain, 100% sure, is that there's not enough batteries going around right now. All right, so now let's take a look at Volkswagen and what they have to offer. So Volkswagen joins the race to build America's leading affordable electric vehicle this month with the ID.4. The ID.4 did come out earlier. It came out as the ID.4 first edition, and that actually sold out in the United States in less than 8 hours. The ID.4 is the first Volkswagen to use an architecture the automaker developed specifically for electric vehicles. The ID.4 does have, and we're going to take a look at it, it has a smaller range compared to its competitors. It has a 250-mile range, and maybe a few years ago that would have been a great thing. A year or two ago, that would have been amazing, right? 250. But how quickly EV technology is adapting and becoming, now cars below 300 miles are kind of frowned upon. But even regardless, Volkswagen is still making great sales with the ID.4. The ID.4 is starting at around $40,000. The all-wheel drive model is coming this summer and should go around $44,000. And they also are going to have a base with a shorter battery range priced below $35,000. And that's not expected until 2022. I believe this is going to be in their Georgia, Chattanooga, or is that Tennessee? One of those two states. They're building they have a facility there that's going to be focused on building this shorter battery range and also bring down the cost. One of the most important things though about Volkswagen right now is that the ID.4 still has some qualifications on the $7,500 federal tax credits on its purchase price. And again, this all depends on what state you live in. But Tesla and GM, for example, they no longer qualify for this. So Volkswagen still has it. So that's also an incentive, right? That $40,000 car now becomes about $32,000. So now let's take a look at the overall market. So for context, Volkswagen in 2019 sold about 11 million vehicles. In 2020, Volkswagen sold about 230,000 all-electric vehicles and more than 400,000 electrified vehicles. That includes hybrids and plug-in hybrid options. Tesla sold about 500,000 EV vehicles in 2020. So Volkswagen is not that far behind, right? It's kind of there with Tesla there. Wall Street projects that Tesla will deliver about 840,000 EV vehicles in 2021. Volkswagen's goal is to sell 1 million electrified vehicles this year and has also doubled its goal for European EV sales market by 2030. The German automaker wants 70% of European sales by then to be electrified vehicles, double than the previous target of 35%. So one thing we can see, right, Volkswagen is right there, right behind Tesla with EV vehicle sales. In 2020, Tesla beat by about 100. Again, we're counting all electrified vehicles for Volkswagen right now. But for 2021, Volkswagen believes they will beat Tesla here, and that's gonna be a cool battle to see. More competition isn't really a death kick to Tesla, right? It's not gonna be game over for Tesla. It's just the overall death for gasoline power cars. However, this is gonna take a long time, right? I do believe right now we're still in single digits of how many EV vehicles there are compared to gas powered vehicles. So there's plenty of market out there. So the EV party is just beginning. There's still so much food out there. We're still going to see more competitions coming out of nowhere, but there's enough space for multiple winners and, again, many losers. I'm not saying that every EV company is going to be a winner, right? So Volkswagen and Tesla can both succeed, and I do believe they will both do. So now my thoughts on the overall price action, though, that's a whole different story. I mean, congratulations to all the investors holding long, but I do believe now that Volkswagen is starting to be considered as an EV stock. Instead, it's no longer being considered as a regular car maker. Then I do believe Volkswagen is going to be very, very volatile. I want to see what price targets analysts start to give this stock. Maybe that's what I want to take a look at in later episodes, or maybe I want to compare them more just margins to other automaker companies and see where Volkswagen actually stands. Let me know what type of video you guys want to take a look at next. And also don't forget to check out the stocks that I bought this week. I post them every week and you should see one up here.